Hi everyone, this is Veronica. Today our topic of discussion is about the three dimensions of food security amid COVID-19. So there are many problems which are arising during this crisis, COVID-19 crisis. One such problem is about food security. So we'll discuss about the problems and the solutions here, what we need to do to ensure food security to the people of India. For my video updates and queries, you can connect with me on Instagram and Facebook because I feel together we can make a difference. So in this picture, you can just see that government is doing its share to provide food to the people. But there are three things which are important according to the experts to provide food security. One is availability of the food. Second is access, that whether the people have access to food. Third is absorption, how well people are absorbing the food. But all these are now being threatened by the pandemic. But definitely there are ways to safeguard food security along with its three dimensions. So these are the three dimensions, 3A's that we will discuss in this particular lecture. Before moving forward, let me tell you about our course UPSC IAS Pre and Mains. It is a smart course and it is available on EMI also. You can download our application from Google Play Store. About the relevance, let me tell you, it will be covered in the economy, agriculture and food security topics. So let's start the discussion. See, the current national lockdown to tackle COVID-19 pandemic, it has highlighted the problems of food, nutrition and livelihood security, right? While there are some measures which have been announced, such as provision of additional rice and wheat, some pulses and oil free of cost, as well as 1,000 rupees cash for the purchase of other essential commodities through your PDS, public distribution systems. But we need to understand the different dimensions of food security in a very holistic manner in order to address this problem in totality. So as I said, the first dimension is about the availability of food in the market. So this is the first thing, and it is function of production. Availability will only be there if there is enough production. Fortunately, we should thank Green Revolution today that we have enough food in the market and government godowns, and this is a great accomplishment by our Indian farmers who converted a ship-to-mouth situation to a right-to-food commitment. Yet, we cannot take farmers' contributions in terms of sustaining production for granted. Although some special exemptions they are being given to the agriculture sector, farmers are confronted at the moment with labor shortages. But many of the inputs here, for example, like seeds, they are becoming expensive or unavailable. If we see the marketing arrangements, because it's not just about the production and the availability of the food, in between this there is a huge system that is working. Marketing arrangements are there, including your supply chains, which are not fully functional right now. Pricing is again not being decided, and even the public procurement is also not adequate. So there is no room for complacency. As in the absence of demand, there is lack of storage or value addition facilities, especially if you look at the perishable things which will get destroyed after some period of time. We do not yet know exactly what the impact of current pandemic will be on the kharif sowing and food availability in the future. So this was the first dimension, availability. Now the next dimension is access to your food. So this is the second dimension, which is a function of purchasing power. Like availability was a function of production, that if there is production, there is availability, and access can only take place when people have purchasing power. They are able to purchase the food, as unless you are a farmer and grow your own food, others have to buy it. Only farmers, they are growing their own food, they do not need to buy, but for others, you have to buy it. So fortunately, we have this act, that is National Food Security Act and PDS, Public Distribution System, that has actually assured some additional food to every individual during this crisis. But we need to strengthen the food basket also. So this should be further strengthened, and the food basket should be widened. Like you can include millets in it, you can include pulses in it, you can include oil in it. Then there is a problem of hidden hunger. Okay, this is the word, hidden hunger. So what is hidden hunger? We need to have steps to avoid this hidden hunger. So this hidden hunger is caused by the deficiency of micronutrients, that people are getting food but they might not be getting the proper nutrients. So that would be your hidden hunger. So in light of the closure of schools, if you know, there are many schools where midday programs are being provided. There are Anganwadi centers, and the consequent disruptions in the provisions of midday meals and other nutritional inputs, it is important to pay attention to the life cycle approach, and particularly the first 1,000 days in child's life. When the cognitive abilities of child are shaped, these nutrients, the food is very, very important. So we may otherwise see a negative effect on nutritional security in the medium to longer term. Then we have to talk about the job security also, because food security and access to nutritious food and the good quality food, it directly depends upon your jobs. Today a lot of people who were employed both on farms and in the non-farm sector, they are without jobs. So if job security is threatened, then so is your food and nutritional security. If people don't have job, how will they buy food, and that too with good nutrition? So there is a problem of food security and nutrition security if we don't have job security. So we have to ensure here, this is the way forward that you can include. We have to ensure that people do not lose their jobs, and one way of doing this will be to ensure value addition to primary products. For example, there is a biopark in Myanmar. Okay, so they use the leftover of rice to generate biomass. They use this biomass to produce energy, right? So we need such value additions. If you know about the Amul, how they added value to the lives of the milk producers, so we need to follow the Amul model for the horticulture purposes also, the people who grow vegetables, for the women workers also. Then a second thing is MGNREGA. We need to strengthen this program, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. We need to cover the skilled workers also, because right now 100 days of work is given to the labor like people, especially for the development of roads, canals, things like this, and then they are paid. So here there was right to work which is covered under MGNREGA, but we need to cover the skilled workers under this also. So given the lack of jobs and incomes during COVID-19 crisis, it is imperative to expand the definition of MGNREGA to cover skilled work related to farmers and their farming activities. And this is particularly important for women farmers and workers who should not just be given task of carrying the stones or digging mud. Okay, so apart from farming, they engage in range of essential. There are tasks where people engage in care tasks. They take care of the people, of elderly people, of sick people. So these tasks often, they are very invisible. They need to be recognized as work and supported with appropriate education, including on nutrition. So we have discussed the 2 dimensions. Third one is your absorption. Absorption of food in your body and its utilization. This is the third dimension. Absorption and utilization of food is dependent upon what conditions? Sanitation, drinking of clean drinking water, other non-food factors, which even includes your public health services. So we need to ensure that these services are functional, depends on the capacities of the local panchayats. If there is lack of adequate clean water in particular, so if you don't have clean water and amid COVID-19 crisis, you are telling people to wash hands again and again, and they are washing their hands with the dirty water, they are playing with their health, right? So what we are talking here, that food security is under threat of this pandemic. If we can ensure food availability, food access and food absorption, then we have fairly a very robust system of food and nutrition security. Because all these dimensions, 3 A's, availability, access and absorption, they are threatened right now by the novel coronavirus, and it is very critical to highlight these linkages between the agriculture, nutrition and health. If people are deprived, the consumers are deprived of micronutrients in their diets, it's gonna have a long lasting impact on the lives of the people, because right now we have inability to harvest, transport and market the perishable fruits and vegetables. Farmers are making losses, and agriculture, which was once we know it is a job-led sector, it is becoming jobless. So this is basically raising questions about the sustainability of the production cycle, and at the same time this can have a long-term consequences on nutrition and health security. So to conclude this, I would say that India has avoided many famines in 1960s also through the help of technology and public policy. So we need to do the similar things right now also. We need to ensure that these 3 A's are working properly. We need to put public policy in place to maintain these 3 A's, these 3-dimensional model for the food security, right? So some additional information is about what is food security. So you can get my PDF in the Telegram channel t.me/Veronica_Om, or you can just search Veronica StudyIQ. So food security is also defined by the United Nations that at all times to the people of all means, by physical, social and economic access you are giving them, and there is sufficient access, safe and nutritious food, so that they can have an active and healthy life. Then about MGNREGA, I already told you 100 days of employment. So this is being maintained by Ministry of Rural Development, Government of India. Then about PDS system. So this is very old and largest distribution network of one of its kind in the world, where the subsidized food is given to the people through ration shops. So in 1997, this public distribution system, it was launched. They launched targeted public distribution, right, where the food as well as the fuel on subsidy was given to the poor people. So mainly the focus was on the poor people. So this is all about today's lecture. If you have any queries, you can contact me on social media. Thank you.